Okay, everybody out there, we're going to do an unboxing of this pallet of parts that come with the frame for that 48 F1. You remember the frame? Well, if you've seen the frame, you ain't seen the frame video yet, but you've seen the frame in video. It's got it black right over there. But anyway, we're going to do an unboxing of the parts, kind of start setting them out on the table so we can see what we got to paint and what's chromed, if something needs to be shiny or needs to be painted a different color or anything like that. We're gonna go ahead and get them out, start getting them laid out. That way Edwin can start assembling the frame next week too, getting the suspension and all that on it, getting this thing to be a roller. So let's start. Okay, so right here is the pallet of parts. You can see there's a whole bunch of parts on there, but it's every bit of the suspension and stuff for that frame. Not sure what all that we're end up gonna have to, what we're gonna have to paint or what's gonna be painted or what's gonna, if there's, you know, we don't even know what the stuff looks like, is what I'm trying to say. It just comes shipped to us like this. The guy ordered everything. We just kind of here to put it together. So we're gonna be just as surprised as y'all when we get this open. I can see it's got rear disc brakes. That's a good thing. But see, like the rear end right there, we can already tell it's gonna be painted because it's primer gray. The chunk is a nice black. Looks like it's got an open 300 gear. I think the guy just cruises it. Me, I'd like to have about a, of course I don't know what his motor and transmission setup is exactly, but I'd like to have about a 350 probably, but he may be running old 3-speed still, something like that, a C4 or C6 or something. So 300, but you know me, I still got to have a little bit of hot rod in me. But if you can see, we got a rear end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me start that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes that we got to open up and lay out over there. Of course, that one right there looks like the rack and pinion. So we'll just kind of open it up and look at it, but we won't worry about setting it out on the table anywhere. It's all the little parts we're going to have to set up. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started right here on this front box. Get her opened up. Got a little damage, make sure there ain't nothing damaged in it. Well, they stapled it good though, that's for sure. Right here's our, looks like our, I'm gonna say the lower control arm, sorry about that. Right there. Not sure what's left, what's right. We kind of favor them ones on that comment. But anyway, right here is our upper ones. Starting this one right here. These are heavy right here. Definitely some good parts in it when they're heavy like that. And they staple them things, buddy, where they ain't going nowhere. Okay, front spindle here. We got the front spindle, rotor, caliper. Them's going to have to go on the big table right there. You can see that's what's in them box right there. I already got the brake pads, calipers bolted down, spindle control, all that. Rotor, everything's good to go right there. So we know this is going to be well, it ain't gonna mark if it's left side or right side, but we know it's the left side or the right side, so that means that other big box is going to be the other side. I don't know if you run into a bunch of these band clamps, but if you ain't got no cutters, the best way to get them is get 2 pair of pliers. Just twist them right in two like that. If you can see that a little closer, just break them right in. If you ain't got no cutters to cut them, that's the best way to do it. Okay, right here's our coilovers. I'm not going to open both boxes. I'm just going to open one of them so we can look at them and see. Of course, they got this nice little protective cover on them. I'll remove that. But right here is our coilovers. I'm pretty sure the front and back are going to be real close to the same. Maybe a little different in length. Bolt up about the same, but they are adjustable. Let's see who they're from. They're from All American. Nice little set of All American coilovers. Like I said, we got for the front and the rear. This may be the rear and this may be the front, or they may be the exact same. A lot of times they'll fix it where you can put the exact same all the way around, especially when they're adjustable. So we'll just leave these in the box. That way we don't have to worry about the pretty gray or the black springs getting messed up. Boy, it'd been pretty if it had some red springs or something like that, wouldn't it? But anyway, there's your All American coilovers. We'll get them set to the side. Well, right here's our next box, but I'm losing my pocket knife. We'll try to open it the manly way. Like I said, all these parts, and total cost involved, that's actually the same place we got the front end for this Comet and the rear end. So we've used some of these parts before, not our first time. So that kind of makes it a little easier too. You know a little bit about what you're dealing with. And if you look, well, I know you can't look, but the rear coilovers here on this Comet are the exact same as the ones we're putting on this frame. All right. Right here, well, I'm gonna get, these are your upper control arms. Did I call them others upper? I don't remember. But anyway, all the bolts, all the hardware, both upper control arms in this box. So we'll get them set on the table over there with all our front end stuff. This is gonna be a little bigger box to open because it's stapled good. I believe this is going to be a lot of the rear suspension stuff. It's also got our gear oil for the rear end. It comes completely dry, shipped completely dry, and then they send you what you need to fill it up. It's got our work order form, all our paperwork, a nice little calendar. Look at there. We'll have to hang that up here in the shop somewhere. Nice little calendar there. Maybe we'll have the Comet or this truck in it for them one day. Right here it comes with a quart of brake fluid. So you got your brake fluid, all your gear oil. Like I said, the paperwork. And this looks like it's going to be some of your brake and clutch parts, stuff like that. I believe it's an automatic truck. I'm pretty sure. So all your bolts and hardware. A lot of your rear brackets. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a lot of the 4-link setup. And I'll show you it a little closer coming out of the box here. I want to put our paperwork up so it don't get lost. Okay, like I was saying, right here's all the 4-link stuff. I'm going to get it out and I'll set it out over there on the table. And then I'll show you a better look at it on the table. Okay, right here's the rack and pinion. Not really sure. It looks to me a lot kind of like a Mustang, like a Fox body. Maybe Mustang 2 could be what they use or something. But it looks a lot like a Fox body rack and pinion. Bolts up about the same. Looks right there about the same. So I would kind of guess that's what it is. But remanufactured. It don't say the brand name, so can't give them a shout out. Anyway, there's the rack and pinion. Okay, now we got all these boxes out of the way, I can show you the rear end a little bit better. Right there's the chunk. Like I said, 300 gear earlier. Looks like it's a Fab Quest Incorporated. The rear end we got for the Comet, I don't know if you can kind of see it right here. Yeah, I'm working under it. I'm pretty sure that was like a, was it art? Right here's the tag still, let me look. Well, it says Fab Quest 2, but I was thinking it was, oh, a Curry. Yeah, okay. The housing's a Curry housing in this. Of course, this is a lot beefier housing. This is just an old, like I said, cruising truck. This baby's got a, shoot, it's not a Coyote, a Voodoo in it. A 5.2 Voodoo. So this baby's got a housing. But anyway, right there's the housing a lot better. And you can see the disc brake set up. See the axles right there, it does have the Curry axles. Everything's welded on it that needs to be welded on it, so all we have to do is bolt it in. It's got the place for the emergency brake hookups, all that's good to go, so it's a real nice setup. Okay, so right there is the rear end, the rack and pinion, and the coilovers. Now I'm going to take you over here to the table and show you everything as we got it kind of set out. We'll start over here on the front end. Right there's your bag of front end parts. It's got your tie rod ends, your mounts for your sway bar, all your bolts and stuff like that. Right here's your lower control arms, your spindles, and you can see it's a spindle, rotor, bearings. Everything's ready to go there, but we're probably going to have to take it apart just so we can paint the spindle. But you can see new pads, bearings are all packed, everything's ready to go. But we will disassemble so we can paint them calipers. Right here's the upper control arms. Got your bolts, accessories, stuff like that. Right here's your sway bar. And of course I got the rear end oil and the brake fluid they send with you sitting over here too, all together. So right there is everything for the front end. Now here on the other table, I've got the rear end stuff. And right over here is the rear end stuff. You got your 4-link bars, brackets. One thing I don't like about the total cost involved 4-link bars is you can see just one end is adjustable. So you have to take it out, adjust it, put it back in. Instead of like a lot of them, both sides will be adjustable where you can turn the bar to adjust your rear forward or backwards, your pinion angle and stuff like that. I mean, it's not that bad. Sometimes it's aggravating to slide them things in and out and slide the bolts out. So if you just had that right there where you could turn it to adjust it, it'd be a whole lot simpler. But this way works. That's just my opinion. Right here, I believe, is the brackets for the steps. They'll bolt onto the frame. Steps will bolt to them. Right here is your brake lines, stuff like that. Brake pedal. Right there is your brake arm lever assembly. Goes to the master cylinder. Master cylinder mounts on the frame. Here's the transmission mount. Here is the motor mounts. Right there is the transmission cross member. Here's your, I don't know if track bar, somebody call it a panhard bar or something like that, but that is your track bar there. That's pretty much everything here. All your back mounts, bolts. This looks like the bolts for these steps, brackets and stuff like that. All that bolts to the frame. So basically what we're gonna have to do is got to get these painted, track bar, the pedal, arm assembly, the mounts for the steps, the motor mounts, the upper and lower control arms, sway bar, spindle, and the rear end housing. We'll have to get all them painted. And as soon as we get it painted, then we can start assembling the frame. But anyway, so that's what your frame, the frame stuff looks like for the 1948 F1. I'm gonna do this as a video by itself, as if you just watch, you know that. But I'm also gonna include it in the frame video, because we're actually gonna try to keep up with from the day we got the frame to where it's painted, to assembly, to going under the truck. That's our plan. Maybe we can. Sometimes we get busy and it's hard to film everything, but we do get what we can and try to show you what we can. Hopefully we can show you. We won't show you assembling this, but maybe like when Edwin gets the front end on, Drake can come by and do a video in the morning, or when I get here that evening and say, all right, here's the front end on, stuff like that. But anyway, this is the parts and the frame for a 1948 F1 from Total Cost Involved. Hope you enjoy the video. 256 Garage out.